Hello everyone, welcome back to the kitchen. So today we are going to be making Cajun meatball stew, which is meatballs in a Cajun gravy, and you can serve it over with either rice or mashed potatoes. So let's get our ingredients together. Before we continue, I publish new videos every Tuesday, so remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also enable notifications and you'll be the first to know when new videos are published. So now, back to our recipe. For our Cajun meatball stew, we're going to need the following: some vegetable oil, flour, onion, bell pepper, celery, beef broth, garlic, ground chuck, and I'm using 80-20, eggs, milk, Worcestershire sauce, parsley, breadcrumbs, Cajun seasoning, and green onions. So now we're going to get our meatballs ready. So we've added our ground beef to a large bowl. To this we are going to add in our onion, celery, bell pepper, and parsley. And I've run the onion and bell pepper and celery through a food processor to get them a little bit finer than being chopped. And to this we are going to add in our breadcrumbs, our eggs, our minced garlic, get all that out, our Cajun seasoning, our milk, and our Worcestershire sauce. Now, if you want, you can get into this with, a spoon or something. That's your choice, but I'm going to just get in here with my hands and get this all thoroughly mixed up. Alright, there we go. That looks pretty good to me. So, I'm going to let this sit for just a bit while I get me a tray, and then we're going to start making up our meatballs. Okay, so I've got me a little scooper here, which is about a tablespoon and a half to make my meatballs. So we're gonna get a scoop, and you don't want to compact these when you're rolling them into your meatballs, because you don't want them to be tough. And so you can make them any size that you like, but I find that this size tends to be rather perfect. And so I'm gonna get these all done, and then we're gonna move on to our gravy. Alright, so we finished up all our meatballs. Just wanted y'all to have a look and see. Ended up with roughly 50 or so meatballs, so we should have a pretty good bit for our gravy. So let's move over to the stove. Okay, so we've got our oil heated up over a medium-high heat, and to this we're going to add in our flour. Now we are making a roux, so, and as always, once we get started with this, don't walk away because you don't want to burn it and start all over again. And what we're going to be looking for is we're going to be looking for a nice chocolate syrup color. So we're going to keep whisking and going until we get to that color we want. Alright, so right now we're at a caramel color, so we are slowly getting there towards our chocolate. Alright, so we're right about where I want it to be. This is a nice dark chocolate, or not a dark chocolate, but a nice chocolate color. So we're going to turn our temperature down some, because now we are going to add in our vegetables. And the reason we turned it down is if it gets too hot while we're, cutting in our vegetables into our roux, we could very well burn it. And so we're going to cook this until the onions are transparent. Okay, so our onions are starting to turn transparent, so what we're going to do is we're going to start adding in our beef broth. And we want to fill the pot up about halfway to 2/3. So that's going to be one container. Give this a stir. Get this out of here. Looks like we're going to need 3 of these. Yeah, that's about right where we want it. So we're going to give this a stir, and we're going to let this come up to a boil, and then we're going to cut it down to a simmer. Okay, so this has come up to a boil, and now we're going to add in our Cajun seasoning. We're going to give this a stir, and then we're going to turn this down to a simmer. And we're going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes or so. Alright, so I've actually had this going about 35 minutes. So if you've been around the channel long enough, you know that I can't just leave it like it is. So I'm adding about a tablespoon of hot sauce. And so now we're going to start adding our meatballs. Turn this down just a little bit more. So once we get all our meatballs in, we're going to let this cook for 20 minutes without stirring, because we do not want to break up our meatballs. By doing this, it will let them cook some and stay together. And we also want to try and not burn ourselves while we're doing this. And we are almost there. Make sure it's covered. And there we go. Make sure those are covered. Try and find a deep spot to put those in, those last few. And there we go. So we're going to let this go for 20 minutes. Alright, so this has been cooking for 20 minutes or so. And while it was cooking, I did skim off some of the fat that had come off of the roux and the meatballs. And optionally, if you want a thicker gravy, you can add a package of brown gravy mix to thicken it up. So now we are going to add in our last ingredients, which is our green onions, our garlic, all that out, and our parsley. I'm going to give that a stir, and as you can see, our meatballs are nice and firm and stuck together, nothing broke up. And so we are going to let this cook for an additional 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll serve up. Alright, so we've got us a bowl here with some rice, and we're going to get us some gravy and meatballs. And just a little bit extra gravy. So there we go. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Remember, new videos are posted every Tuesday. And as always, be nice and be kind, because you could make somebody's day, and always enjoy cooking in the kitchen. So till next time, see y'all.